Looking to get a pro finish on your skirting boards? Stick around, we'll show you how to get a pro finish and how to stop your skirting boards from turning yellow. So we'll look at this skirting board in question. This is this little room here is one of the first jobs that we're going to do for the day. If you look at this skirting board, there's been a lot of work going on in this premises, so you can see the dirt, you can see the scuffs, and you can see that it's generally in a real bad condition. So especially when we start coming up the door. So what we'll do is we'll talk you through some of the steps and show you, basically we'll bring you along the way onto what we do to get them looking like new again. Before we get onto the painting and the different paints that we use and the different procedure that we do for that, first thing that we'll do when we've got anything like this is give it a good sand down. One, we want to get rid of any of the dirt, any of the marks and scuffs and things like this. And secondly, we want to give it a real good key for the paint that we're going on top with. You'll see why that's important in a minute. But first of all, we'll just give this a quick sand down. This is a great little sander. This is a quarter sheet sander, Makita. So any internal trim work like this is absolutely ideal. Now what's really important, and for me it's probably the second or third most important step of what you need to think about when you're painting the skirting boards, if you're repainting especially, this top edge here is always in every single home covered in dust and dirt, and one surefire way of your paint flaking and not adhering correctly is from the dirt on the top here. So it's really important that you sand it down and then give it a good wipe off as well. So you're clearing it with a sander and you're clearing it with this, and that'll make sure then that the top of your skirting board doesn't get any flaking paint or doesn't peel off if you knock it. So we've sanded the skirting boards down, we've cleaned this top edge to make sure that that's nice and smooth and clear from all of the dust and any dirt that's on top, because that'll give us problems. We've caulked the top edge as well. Now these will be old skirting boards. This is actually an old bank, and you can tell that these were painted quite a long time ago. So it's pretty safe to say that these will be oil-based paint. Now the problem with oil-based paint, and like we said at the start, one of the problems that you can have are your skirting boards turning yellow, and that is because of using oil-based paint. Now oil-based paint is kind of really going kind of out of fashion, I suppose you'd say. It's used less and less, and there's a lot more water-based paints. Now, although if you use a water-based paint it won't yellow, you can't go over oil-based paint with a water-based paint. And the reason is that it starts peeling off and flaking. Even if you sand the surface down, it doesn't stick to the surface. And as a decorator, we see this all the time in loads and loads of homes that we go into to decorate. Somebody's come in, thought they'd give the skirting boards a coat of paint, not realising that they're going water-based over oil-based, and you see problems with it peeling off, and you knock it and it will start flaking. So with this being an oil-based, what I should do now is I should go and get a primer, a specific primer for going over oil-based paint, and put that on first. Now obviously that would then mean I need a primer coat and then 2 top coats, which is just adding time and kind of adding work as well. The good thing is, over the last few months there is a product that's very popular on the market with a lot of painters and decorators, and you can see that this is well used, but Johnson's AquaGuard, and it's the AquaGuard. The guard is important. Satin finish, which is what kind of 90% of the people go for now. This is unbelievable paint. I've used over the last few years. I've used many different types of, we'll call it gloss, well it's not gloss paint. And the reason why I use this now is that it's the best in nearly every aspect, and it's something that kind of your DIY decorator would easily be able to get hold of as well. Now, the first thing to point out is you will not get this from a Wickes or a B&Q. So order it online, go to a brewer's, go to a Johnson's decorating store, like a trade store. Don't worry that you're not a decorator. You can go in as a member of the public and get some of that paint. Reason being, you can go straight over oil-based paint, straight with this, so you only need the 2 coats. It's fast drying, it's a great finish, and it's durable. You see, AquaGuard, durable, so it lasts for a long time as well. If you use this paint, you cannot go wrong, but what you have to do is sand the skirting boards down first, sand the front, sand the top, and then clean down that top edge. Really, really important, or it won't work right. And what I'll do is I'll show you basically just how we go over and paint this section here. So when you're starting anything like this, it's always best to start at the top edge. And what you want to do is you want to leave a small border around the top. So you want to go about 1 or 2 mil up the wall. And you want to do this first. And I'll show you why in a second. So go around, leave your little border there like this. Now, luckily enough, there's carpets going down on this floor afterwards, so it means that I've not got to worry too much about my cutting in on the floor, although I've got to be careful on the wall. So that's done there. Now what you'll see is, well, I've gone across the top, you can see these lines here. This is why when you're finished, paint the bottom section afterwards, and then always when you're finished, bring your brush over a couple of times in a nice straight line, just with the bristles on the top, and that's called laying off, and that's to make sure that you get a good finish. Okay, we're back for the next coat. Just got to give this a real light rub over. This is what's called a key, just to get rid of any high spots, just to give it something to stick onto, and just give that a quick rub over, and then we're ready then to go and give it another coat. So we're all finished. It's been rubbed down, had a couple of coats, and yeah, have a look at the results. You can see there's marks and things like that was there from there before, but overall that's come up really nice. And like I said, it's really great that you don't have to actually use a primer first. You can go straight over oil based. And we'll have a walk through here, and you can see some of the other work that we've been doing. It's a fairly large shop refit actually, and you can see some of the skirting boards here. These are new skirting boards, so they come up really well. It is still a bit of a building site here, so there's a bit of dust and dirt around, but you can see these as well. So you can see the difference when they're a new skirting board. The finish is great. But yeah, for me, Johnson's AquaGuard goes straight over oil-based paint, dry within a couple of hours, which is a huge benefit, and it's very durable and nice to work with as well. Let me know what you think. I'm always open to try and find new paints. For me, this makes my job a lot easier, and it helps us finish a day quicker. I can recoat that within 2 hours if I'd have got to lunchtime and I needed to pull a coat on, and then it was going to be 4 hours later, it's eating into your day. So a big benefit for me. And the finish, like I say, the finish is the best finish that I've used as well. So it's all, everything's a benefit for sure. But yeah, let us know what you think.